Welcome back to my channel, China Hand, where we discuss China from a spiritual point of view. We analyze the history, the culture, the politics from a Judeo-Christian point of view. Now, I have somewhat breaking news to report about a particular individual in China who recently, in the past couple days, suddenly died. This person's name is Sun Jian. Sun Jian. Now, who is Sun Jian? Sun Jian is one of the contemporary pioneers of AI technology and a member of the technology company called Megvii. All right, so why is this significant and how can you analyze this from a spiritual point of view? You're probably asking. Well, first of all, let's look at the person's name, Sun Jian. Sun Jian is the name of a famous warlord and military general during the Three Kingdoms era. For those of you that are interested in Chinese history or have somewhat a grasp of Chinese history, he, Sun Jian, the Chinese warlord, of the Three Kingdoms era, was alleged to be a direct descendant of none other than Sun Tzu, the author of The Art of War. So I'm just using a little bit of that background information to springboard into the analysis from a spiritual point of view of the significance of this news. Now, Sun Jian, age about 45, recently passed away suddenly. I don't know exactly what the details are regarding his demise. You can look that up yourself, but I'm not really interested in how he died, other than to say that it is probably quite suspicious, being that he is one of the pioneers, modern pioneers of AI technology in China. Now, AI technology in China is used quite vastly in monitoring the 1.4 or 1.5 billion subjects of the People's Republic of China. If you look at Sun Jian's biography online, you'll see that he worked for none other than Microsoft, Bill Gates' Microsoft. Bill Gates' Microsoft. Most of the technology, if not all of the AI technology that China uses to control and monitor its people in that country, was either given to them or it was stolen by them. And now it's used to subjugate and control its population. So, what does that have to do with the spiritual significance of analyzing China? Well, in the book of Revelation, chapter 13, it says, "The second beast was given power to give breath to the image of the first beast, so that the image could speak and calls all who refuse to worship the image to be killed. The beast that they're talking about here is probably some form of AI technology that eventually becomes sentient. What do I mean by sentient? It somehow becomes alive. Now, how does it do that? I suspect, don't quote me on this, I'm saying this is just my opinion through analysis. I suspect that demonic principalities will possess this image of the beast so that it will appear to become alive and sentient, meaning that it will have life and appear to have knowledge, to know things, and probably to predict things. And so forth. People will marvel and they'll be shocked, they'll be surprised. Now, you're probably saying, Chinahan, you're reaching. I don't think so, because if you look at certain films that have been produced by Hollywood, I'm thinking about one in particular, I, Robot. It talks about a robot that becomes alive. It gains sentient abilities. And I think that China is working towards this kind of technology. And like I said before, everything that happens, or most of the things that are happening and will happen in America and around the world, they first are experimented on the population in China, because these people don't have any rights. And there are a lot of laws that are in place in Europe and in America that cannot allow scientists to so directly do certain experiments on the population in those countries. But in China, where there are no rights, no human rights, no kind of protection from the regime, scientists have free will and reign to conduct experiments without any kind of care in the world for humanity. The sole purpose of these experiments is to gain upper hand and control in the world and in that particular field. So AI technology is basically intelligence. And they say it's artificial intelligence, but I believe that there's going to come a point where this intelligence is going to be controlled by demonic principalities. And you'll have probably machines that look and act like human beings, but they do not have the spirit or the breath of life in them. They are possessed with a different spirit, and that is a demonic spirit that will give them superhuman intelligence and knowledge about things that are beyond human capacity to know. So this individual, Sun Jian, suddenly died. I don't know how. We'll probably never know. But it's interesting to know that most of these Chinese scientists, the vast majority of them, first study abroad and gain so much information, knowledge, and experience. And once they finish studying abroad in America and in Europe, they go back to China to help develop those particular industries. And AI technology is a cutting edge industry that can have dual applications, especially when it applies to military applications for war. Sun Jian probably had information or knew things that were vital to being a forerunner in the field of AI technology. So once he was finished being used, there was no other purpose for him. And that's usually what happens in regimes like this. Once you've used up your ability to give it a cutting edge advantage, then you are no longer necessary. Thanks, and please like and subscribe. Share this content if you find it interesting, and if you have any questions or topics you want me to cover, please feel free to leave a comment. Until next time.